Hi everybody, it is Ronnie with Whip and Chain. I work alongside Maggie and her daughter Lauren. Today I am going to show you how to make these adorable little slippers. This pattern, I did this pattern, I designed it, and the way it's designed is you can make them to fit your particular foot. My feet is an average of a size 8.5, so that's what these are designed for, my feet. But as I show you the pattern, I'm going to show you how to make it fit for you. Okay? All right. So first things first, I have an abundant supply of Karen yarn anniversary cakes. I'm addicted to it. When it comes out, I try to buy as much of it as I can, even though I have no plans for it. I'm so bad with buying yarn. Now this is considered a super bulky. It's a number 6, and their recommendation is for an 8mm hook. Now this color, unfortunately, is not available because it's different colors every year when they come out. But this one was called Reef Blue. So the reason my slippers that I showed you are different colors, there's gray and blues and turquoise in this, which is nice. So I use that. And then I'm also using this for the ruffle part around your ankle. So what I used was called Cozy. Not sure how to pronounce it, so I'm not going to muff it up. But this is also a super bulky. It's 6. So I do recommend you use the same thickness, but you can use whatever you want. If you don't want it around it, you don't have to use it. It's an option, just a choice. And then the other thing, I did make these pom-poms, and I used the pom-pom tassel maker. I got this from a nice lady off of Marketplace, believe it or not. It sells at Hobby Lobby for about $20. I think I paid $5 off the Marketplace and was brand spanking new when I got it. And I used, if I can get it out here for you. I don't know why sometimes I fumble so much when I'm recording for you guys. Sorry about all the noise. Those pom-poms, these pom-poms were made, believe it or not, with the smallest one. It says 1.5 inches. Okay. So the other things we will need is a pair of scissors, some darning needles, and I used the recommendation of an 8mm hook. You guys are going to be blown when you see how easy this is. And what I do is I do use some stitch markers. Okay, so you're ready to get started? These slippers can probably be done without interruption. My yarn's falling apart because I've banged the thing around so many times. There we go. They can probably be made in maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, both of them. So I'm starting with a magic circle. It's the best thing to do. Pull it through and you chain 1. All right. Now, if you've been watching our videos, I keep repeating, when you do these magic circles, you don't have to tighten it after you have your first row. You just don't, and it'll still tighten, and I will show you. Now, in this circle, I want you to put 9 half double crochets. Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now, after I get my 9 on, I do close it a little bit just so it's not very awkward, but as you can see, it's not closed. Okay. I want you to slip stitch into your first stitch and slip stitch. Okay. Now I want you to chain 1, and I want you to put 2 half double crochets right back. That's my heater, right here in the same stitch. Now before you go any further, I am going to recommend that you use a stitch marker and put it right in your first one. Okay. So now I want you to put 2 half double crochets in every stitch, so you will have a total of 18 stitches. Okay. Do you guys remember what a half double is? Let me do one more here and I'll go real slow so you can see, in case we have some new people in here wanting to learn. A half double is you wrap your hook, you put it in your stitch, you grab yarn, bring it out, then you'll have 3 loops on your hook. Wrap, and you just go through them all. Now I'll do it again. You wrap, go in that same stitch because we want 2. Bring it up, you got 3. You wrap, and you go through all 3. This whole pattern is basically half doubles, which is so nice. Because this is a pattern that you can do sitting in front of the TV. But I looked at some patterns trying to figure out what I wanted to do for you guys, and every pattern that really came up to me, just it didn't seem complete. Like, I love slippers that come all the way up with my foot. I love slippers that don't slip off the back of my heel when I'm walking in them. If they slip off, they're just, it frustrates me too much and I don't even want to wear them. These do not. All right, now I have my 18 stitches all the way around. Now I'm comfortable closing that. Okay, so I'm going to take this stitch marker out and I'm going to slip stitch right into that first stitch. Okay, everybody good? All right, chain 1, go right back into that stitch and do another half a double. Go into the next one. We're matching stitch to stitch now. But after I got 2, I am going to throw a stitch marker in my first stitch. And look, guys, I got a big ball of mess. Sometimes the yarn just don't want to cooperate while you're doing videos, but this one's probably my fault because of the way I bounce this ball all over the place being partially used. So that one's probably me asking for it. So, all right. Now, we got our 2. Let's do another round. Match stitch to stitch. There's going to be no more increases in this pattern. You're just going to be making rounds until you have the, this is for the ball, the top where your toes are going over the top of your foot. Make sure you bend it going the outside in, and after you do a couple rows, it will just naturally go that way. Now, if you're not into the color changing yarn, you are more than welcome to use one solid color. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and that's 18. So don't be fooled. That's the stitch at where your first one is, okay? Always count and check yourself, make sure you got 18. And you slip stitch into the first one. Okay. Now, I'm going to chain 1, put another half double right back in, and put a half double in the next stitch. And then put my stitch marker right back in, so I know where I'm at. See, match stitch for stitch again. I'm going around. There we go. I am truly a fan of not wasting yarn. So if I can unknot it, I will. All right, we are closing in on this round. Make sure you always have 18 stitches, and you slip stitch. Now, before we go any further, I want you to turn that out. Take a darning needle. Okay. Now, what I suggest is you pull it as tight as you can, and you put this underneath the stitches of that first row that you did in the direction that it was going. Because what that will do, now make sure you go around good, that will lock that in, keeping that hole closed. Okay. And then you cut. And now you don't have to worry about it. No. There it is. Okay. So I want you to chain 1 again. Now remember, this pattern is for adult people. half double in the first two. Then I put that in. Okay. Now, your project should definitely be taking like a bowl look to it. I think I'm having trouble staying in the frame of the video today. And I have to baby this yarn because it's not coming out properly. Again, I think that was me caused it. All right. I can never remember without count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I think that's 18. 16, 17, 18. Yep. It's deceiving when you look at it. At least to me it is. That's why I rely on stitch markers all the time. There. Okay. No, I think it is a stitch. Looks like it got, there we go. All right. Now we close. Chain 1, and you want to keep doing this until this length, you look at the shoe, from your toes until it comfortably goes up, not going up your ankle, but to where your flat foot meets your ankle, okay? So mine, for my 8.5, this was 10 rows, okay? So I want you to keep doing that until you got the length that you need. So from your tippy toes to right before your foot bends up to your leg part, all right? So work on that, and I will see you in a few minutes. Okay, I think I have one more row to do. That will match for my size. Yeah, pretty sure it's one more row. So let's do one more row together. Nine and 10. And 16, 17, and 18. What I do recommend is you write down how many rows you do. That way when you make your other one, it can match your other foot. But in case some people actually have different sizes of feet, and if you do, that's okay. Do what works for you. So, yeah. All right, that is mine. So after you got, remember, it's from the tip of your toes to right before your ankle part where your foot curves up. Just don't put it right up against it, because if you wear them, then they can rub and it can feel weird. So I wouldn't recommend doing super close. Okay. So now for the next part, chain 1, put a half double crochet back in there, and then you put it in 12 more. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Well, okay, put in 13 total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. You should have 5 stitches unused, okay? So I want you to turn, chain 1, and then just put half doubles in these stitches. There we go. Now this, you want to do these until it goes to your end of your heel. Okay. Shouldn't be a ton of rows. I think mine is 5 rows. And I already done 2. Turn, chain 1, and just keep going in those 13 stitches until you're at the end of your heel. Not room past it, just right to it, because this yarn is very stretchy with half doubles on it. So that being said, you don't want to make them where they're really loose. Okay. So 1, 2. Okay. This is an unbelievably fun pattern that you could comfortably be doing while you're watching your TV shows, Hallmark, sports, whatever you really enjoy, because you really don't have to pay ridiculous attention, and you can knock a couple of these out maybe for some family members, which is great. Actually, instead of 5, I think mine was 4. Not to look. If you hear the background, that is my dog playing with John. They play hard sometimes, but that helps them sleep really good at night. He's my little puffball. His name's Moose. John's dog's named Mia. All right. I'm gonna do one more for you guys. Try not to split your yarn. If it does split, just take it out and go back in and redo it. One, two, three. I think I did 5. Let me add one more in there. Since I'm making it, I might as well make the first one of 2, right? Silly not to. Now make sure when you think you got it long enough, put it on your piggy toes. Slide it on like you would slide on any kind of sock or slipper. And make sure it just comes to the end of your heel. Don't want you really don't want any slack going over. And look, I am going to have literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches of the change color. That's cute. I like that. Okay. Leave a little tail. You wrap it, chain 1, and let it go. Now, I'm going to take your darning needle. I'll bring you in so you can see what I'm doing here. Thread your needle. Okay. Now, this is the right side out. So I want you to take this and fold it backwards. Okay. Just like that. And I want you to slip stitch this shut. All right. Now I'm going to tell you guys, like I remind myself every time I'm doing this part of a project, because I'll be honest with you, this is truly not my favorite part to do. Sometimes I really just dread it, and I don't know why. It's not hard, just not a fan. But anyway, go through both chains of the chain on your project. Okay. When you go all the way up, make sure you go all the way up. Do not leave open gaps. All right, I went up. And go down. when you're all the way at the end after you went up and down twice, I do really recommend twice. Okay, then you can hide your yarn right in there. Okay, after you do it a few times, cut. You can actually put away your darning needle. And if you're like me, like to keep everything in its right place, you can clean them up. Now, take it, turn it right side out. Oh, I lied to you. We don't need the darning needle one more time. Anyway, so now we're going to take our fuzzy stuff. What I want you to do, make a slip knot on your finger, but do not put it on the hook yet. Okay? So you can start anywhere on this. There's no right or wrong where to start. Okay. Slip it in a hole there at the top and tighten it. Put your tail in. Okay. Bring it through. So I want you to wrap. You go back in that hole, grab yarn, come on up, and you do another half double. But your tail, see this tail? You're going to just stitch over it. And we're only doing one round, so you do not need to worry. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to find my stitches and all that other fun stuff. Well, you don't need to. You're only going around one time. Okay, but I do recommend that you try to get it as even around as you can. Use very little of this so you don't have to stress about it. So while we're doing this, I haven't talked to you guys lately about Miss Betty, Maggie's beautiful dog. She got professional pictures done of her. So we are awaiting, I'm awaiting to see how they turned out. Miss Betty is a beautiful senior dog that loves vegetables. That little princess eats a lot of vegetables. Okay, did you notice how I got my end in there? So the end is really locked in. Now, I tried this with different stitches, a double crochet, single crochet, a treble. The half double just seems to be the perfect stitch. So basically the whole pattern is just the half double crochets. You can't get any better than that. Okay, here's where I fibbed a little bit, that you didn't need your darning needle. After we're done this, we need to hide in the end. That's why I did apologize. Make sure you take it all the way up to your beginning stitch. Okay. So yeah, cut it. Get my needle out again. Now make sure you chain one more time before you pull it through. Okay. All right. You go on the inside and you go up in those stitches. Okay. Now you're done with that. Look at that. Oh, I had my end sticking out. There we go. And there is your slipper. Now let me show you. I've noticed there really aren't too many tutorials on how to do this. So, take your yarn. Always leave a long tail. Okay? You put it on the left side, put it in the grooves. Okay? And hold it. And then you come over and you put it in the grooves on the right side. All right? Then you wrap. Now, I wrap, don't wrap too tight. I try to wrap where at least my first row is even. I don't think it's a have to do, but that's me. And then I just go back and forth slowly. And you want to make it full. Like if you stopped right now, your pom-pom would be very thin. So I just take my time and I wrap as much as I think I can get on this. And this is with the bulky yarn, so don't ever be scared. All right. When you're comfortable, cut your yarn. Then on the right side, see that yarn right in here? Cut it. Then you take this end and you pull, and it evens out the long tail that you used, remember? And then an extra set of hands is helpful. But you can do it. Just tie a nice knot. Okay? Now that is not needed. So let's get rid of that before I get confused. You do need to make sure your scissors are sharp. So you go up and you cut right in the groove. Until you got them all. Then you slide this out. And I do recommend putting it back so you don't lose it, but now I shake mine and I puff mine around and I shake it, shake it, shake it. So now it's going to be shaken, shook a few more times, but what I start is I just even up around the edges. Okay. I shake a little more. And this is where I work on it being round. Now, I am not artistic in the slightest. I think we need to sharpen our scissors. As you're shaping your pom-pom, you will start to notice that it's relaxing more. And it's coming together. Okay. I know some people, when they first take it off, they're like, oh my God, I did something wrong. Nope. You did nothing wrong. It just needs to settle in. See how nice? And you guys watched me do it. Off of that. I've tried using cardboard and different things, but I personally feel, for me, I'm better served having that pack. Now, I waited until I found something on the marketplace because I didn't want to spend a fortune on it. And I did get lucky. It paid off. I did have to drive a little bit, but that's before gas prices were absolutely ridiculous, and I got to take my Mimi for a car ride with me that day. Now, I'm just being particular. You don't have to be. All right. So, after you trim your pom-pom to what you want, now I put it all the way up top. Now, here's your two strands. I put it in the middle. I put it right underneath the fur. I grab one, pull it through. Then I go over a couple spaces, like 2 or 3, and I grab the other one. Okay, then I tie it in there. Now, I do knot it in there, but I try not to knot it ridiculous, because if that ever becomes frayed and I want to do a new pom-pom, you can. Make sure when you trim your yarn, you're just trimming that yarn. But look at that, a little bit of spicy blue back there. And there's your slipper. And then all you have to do is do the exact same thing for your other foot. But isn't that pretty? That's exactly what these are. And you know what? Because of the color changing yarn, I have 2 different pom-poms, see? And I like that. I think that's kind of cool. But there she is. And I want to say thank you so much to everybody. We're getting amazing people that are subscribing, people that are starting to come over to our Facebook page. We thank you. We thank you, thank you, thank you. And I want to start doing more tutorials on different stitches. So if there's a stitch that you're looking that you need help with, or you need us to do some lives to help you do some stitches on a project that you're working on, we're here. Would you please kindly hit that like button and that subscribe button at the bottom of this video, and please come find us on Facebook under WIP, W-I-P, and Chain for Work in Progress and Chain. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy this video. My name is Ronnie, and have a great night. Bye.